If there was one big thing, I would give you a great answer. I'm optimistic about the future of our offense against left-handed pitching. Mounty's gotten going. He's a big part of that. Ramon's gotten going. He's a big part of that. We got T.O. back in the lineup. Gunner's swinging the bat well, and he's swinging the bat well. And I don't think, the matchups really affect us that much. Jackie's been giving us really good at-bats. So I think as the lineup is right now, with some guys, starting to pick it up, it's a little bit more balanced up and down the lineup. So I'm optimistic that what has happened, up until this point in the season won't continue. But from a hitting coach perspective, we got to be better. We got to prepare them better. We got to train them better. Give them a better chance for success.
Are the players listening to you guys?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
We've seen it from Adley before. I mean, he's an 800-plus OPS guy. Second half of last year was a struggle, and the numbers aren't quite there this year, even though some of his advanced stats have improved. How do you explain, his struggles over the last, start of this year and then second half of last season?
Yeah, it's a difficult position to be in as a hitting coach because you can look at the underlying stuff and, you see that it should be better. But at the end of the day, results are results, and the scoreboard tells a different story. The beautiful thing about Rutsch is I think he understands that, very well, and he understands that more than you might expect a player to. So, the great thing about being Adley Rutschman's hitting coach is that he shows up every single day with the mindset that, like, hey, I'm going to get this right. Like, what do I need to do today? He shows up for his teammates. He shows up for this team. He shows up for this org in more ways than one. So, we're working through, minor adjustments daily. And that's the beautiful thing about him. And that's why he's had so much success in his life and in this game.
Brandon was talking last night about just guys expanding the strike zone and also just kind of not being able to kind of get one competitive bat after another. When a game is going that way or trending that way, how do you feel about your ability as a coach or this team's ability to change the approach and get more competitive bats even as a game is going?
It's a process we go through daily in game. We have a great tool with the iPads where guys are coming up to us and they're breaking down at bats, and we're talking through approaches like, hey, like, what happened there? Like, you got into a 2-0 count, and our eyes were up and away, and you swung at the slider down and in, and you talk through those things, and you get to the root cause of it, and it happens more than you'd probably think, even though like some days it might not look like it. But you're right. Like, we need to get on base more. We're getting into 3-ball counts, and we're giving walks away. We're getting deep into counts, and we're not putting competitive balls in play. We're not stringing together those types of bats as much as we need to. And ultimately, that's my responsibility to make sure that we do.